pretty good. I give Momiji a Momiji out of 10.
Momiji is Momiji out of 10. There you go.
Yes. Oh, hey,
Yes.
look. We're live. It says it. It says Momiji is Momiji out of 10.
Yes, whoever said that is a very smart person.
Oh, so smart. So, hello, buddy. Hello, buddy.
Hi, buddy.
It's been a couple weeks since we did this. I'm rusty. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Fruits Basket Podcast, where
yes, it's been a while.
It's been a minute. Where we're talking about episodes 4 and 5. You know, it's really funny when we do the Fruits Basket Podcast because I think, just off the top of my head, I could be totally wrong about this, but I think this is the podcast I regularly take the most breaks for.
Like, you take breaks to, like, prepare or to do, or
like we'll have, like, a week off.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was, like, traveling the country and hanging out with friends and stuff, and it was fun, and I got Oreos.
You did? From who?
I don't know. It was some, like, very kind person. I heard he has a great YouTube channel. I heard that he punched the moon twice last year.
Oh, Mr. Kitty.
Yes! But yes, I got to go visit the SeaTactics and hang out and be in the park and give him a windshield wiper.
It's fun. The first time I've ever done something like that. Very nerve-wracking for me, but is what it is. Lex South says hello.
Yeah, it's the first time I've ever given someone a windshield wiper.
Yeah, well,
but I also
it's the first time I've ever received one.
I also got to meet a very kind friend who let me stay with her and let me use her Toru body pillow, so that was fun.
That's true. It's true. I thought that Toru body pillow was a myth for so long, but it's actually real.
Yes, it's real. It's her waifu. And
Toru,
her boyfriend let me use his waifu body pillow too, but I forget her name, so we don't care about that. Because it's Fruits Basket, we care about Toru.
Exactly. We need more Toru in our lives. That's exactly what we need. So
exactly. Everyone should go buy a Toru body pillow.
I agree. It's the only body pillow I think people should be going out and buying. Is the Toru one.
There's some other, well, make sure you get the right Toru, not the other Toru, because those are, no.
The dragon. Don't get the dragon Toru. That's the wrong one. Well, you can still get that one too, I guess. But this is Fruits Basket Podcast. We're talking about Fruits Basket Season 3, Episodes 4 and 5, making up for last week. We didn't have a show. Because Rising was out.
Notes.
Yeah, so I guess we might as well get right into it so we don't stay forever and you know, make everybody bored. By the way, if you're watching the podcast, make sure to give it a like, share it out with your friends. That's how all of this happens. That's how all this magic works. You got to share it, and then when you share it, some people find it and they watch it and some people don't, and it's pretty cool. So,
and I call you Seabiscuit to confuse people.
It happens. So, getting right into episode 4. This episode was when I first saw episode 4, I was like, wow, this is my favorite episode of the season so far.
And then didn't you forget what happened 2 days later?
Maybe. And then episode 5 happens and I'm like, oh my god, it's much better. But still.
Yeah. Like these are like my 2 favorite episodes of the season so far.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. What do you think so far of episode 4? Because everybody knows my thoughts.
I had thoughts and there were things, and then my emotions went go. What happened?
It's true.
Yeah, I liked it that we got like more with Haru, because Haru is one of my favorites, and then more with Hiro and Kisa because they're also kind of my favorites. And we got Momiji, but that's next episode. And yeah, I have lots of thoughts. I don't know like where to start. It was a fantastic episode overall, though.
Yeah, well, I will say this. I thought the stuff with Hina was... What is it? Is that... Or Hanato? Yeah, what is the little hero's sister's
Yeah, Hina.
name? Okay, Hina, just make sure. I think she has something... Like, she's going to be of importance to the story, because they keep showing her in these episodes. I think we may have already talked about that in episode 3. But I find that very interesting for the simple fact that it's a child. So why are we focusing on this child so much? So I
thought of something. It's kind of next episode. But what if Hina is the new rabbit?
That would be interesting, but I don't. Does when they break the curse, does it still carry on to the next?
I don't know.
Yeah, well, we'll save that for
We don't
episode
know a
5,
lot
I
about
guess.
this.
Yeah,
But
we don't.
that's like, I'm going off not knowing, so I can make up whatever I want.
Yeah. I mean, I have no clue either, but
Yeah, we're lost.
yeah, very, very lost. We need help. But so oh crap. At the beginning of the episode, actually, Akito is like, what I thought was funny about this is basically Akito. She did the equivalent of Kurano's like just sitting there, and it's like whatever. Akito's like, "Hey Kurano, want to see my dad's ashes?" Kurano's, what the fuck?
Yeah, but then like she won't tell Karna what's actually in there, so that's like sets up the whole episode and more probably.
Yeah, I mean, man, Akito is a really has been such a fascinating character in this season so far. Like the previous couple seasons have always, I think, had one main focus for many characters, but this one so far very Akito heavy.
Yeah, it has definitely, and like we saw some of her like throughout the previous 2 seasons, but like never much focus. But now like she's like the focus of pretty much every episode.
Yeah, which I think is like a really nice change of pace because even in this episode, there's like a lot of sympathy that we're I don't want to say it's a, sympathy. Maybe it's more of that we're understanding more of who Akito is, and through more of understanding who Akito is, we're able to relate to her situation more. And I think that's probably what makes it more interesting.
We're understanding her mindset, even if like that doesn't justify what she did, but now we understand.
Right. Yeah, we now she's not just super bad Akito. We understand everything typically of how she works. And I think that's the most important bit to Akito is understanding how she works over just,
she's more than just evil.
Right, exactly. And I think that's what makes Akito really interesting a lot of the times.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, I also really appreciated the look we got at Hero this episode, and some with next episode too, but especially this one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and just like how he's wanting to be a good big brother, he's like beating himself up over his flaws, which he definitely has his flaws still, but in ways like showing how he's like not thinking as highly of himself as he should. Yeah, I feel like he's growing a lot this series.
Yeah, both figuratively and literally. And I think that's because it's one of those things where he was an only child, so he was probably treated differently. But now that, he has a little sister, he's going to he has more perspective. He's grounded more because of her. And I think that makes him wake up and realize hey, I can't be a delinquent anymore, because if I do, this little girl is going to grow up and look up to me and grow to resent me or make the same, wrong decisions that I made. So I think it kind of wakes him up a little bit. And I think it's really cool.
Yeah, and I think it's also like a culmination of like all the other things that have happened in the series, like his encounters with Toru, with Haru, with all the other characters.
Yeah, absolutely. And much how I think we're gaining a lot of understanding for Akito, I think we're gaining a lot of understanding for Hiro as well. And I think Hiro is gaining a lot of understanding for how the world works. He's growing up.
Yeah, and we also see Kisa is gaining understanding about Hiro when Hiro apologizes and feels guilty about what Akito did to her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so it's all this whole season is about the characters understanding themselves and seeing beyond themselves.
Right. It's definitely about grounding them a little bit and giving these characters a little bit of perspective, both from within and from other people. And that's I think that's it's really cool, but as well I think it's different from the other seasons in many ways, because in season 1 we kind of focus a lot from Toru's perspective, as the viewer,
but Toru understanding them and helping them and pushing them to be But now Toru's not really involved in their lives that much. Like, was she in this episode at all, or at least very little?
Very little, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, which is so weird that Toru is the main character, but it seems like she just goes away for a couple episodes because, in a way, the story is more than just her.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's very interesting, and I think it just shows how strong a lot of the characters in the series are. No matter like I think I think Momiji can be thrusted into like a main character for a couple episodes, and he has on previous occasions. So
Yeah,
like it,
and I feel like Akito's kind of the main character now, but it's like more of the tragedy of Akito.
yeah, a lot of it. Yeah, I mean, we also got in this episode Ren.
Yes, definitely. That's the big one with Haru.
What did you think about her?
She's been through a lot, but I love the ending of this with like Haru picking her up off the street, how it shows that he is now stronger now, he's grown up enough and can like carry her. How she doesn't want to be carried, but she's like, nope, I'm doing this. And
yeah.
It's so beautiful too. And it's like Rin has been fighting for so long, and like Haru says, your journey's over, come home with me. And it's like how beautiful that is. You also have like how she's in the hospital reflecting like she doesn't have a place to go home to, except she does because it's with Haru.
Right. Rin is such a. I wonder if we're gonna be seeing more of her and Hatsuharu in the future, because I think EA on the King of Anime podcast, he brought this up. He said he wouldn't be surprised if we don't see him again, and so far we really haven't. So if we do see her again, she's probably gonna have shorter hair and look a little bit different. Well, no, there's the time skip, so she may have longer hair again, but.
It depends on like how much time passes, but I don't feel like we need anything more with like I feel like in a way their story's mostly wrapped up, so they don't need like much more time in the spotlight.
Yeah, they got back together. Everything worked out.
Yeah, like they're back together in a way. Like her arc has come to completion. I hope like Rin is still involved with like breaking the curse and seeing like beyond just her love for Haru, beyond to like all the other zodiacs and wanting to like help them. So I feel like they might not get focused for a while, but then they'll like come back in the end and help everyone else.
Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons I kind of think she has to come back for Toru and her to break the curse with whoever else it may be, because I think it's a maybe it's not super important at this point, but I think it would be really cool if Rin shows back up and is like, hey, Toru, let's break the curse together because we're best buds.
Yeah. It'll be interesting, like, if she finds anything or what, considering, like, the curse is starting to break, so lots of questions there.
Indeed. It's going to be interesting, to say the least, for Rin's perspective. Now, what about the other Rin?
The crazy one?
Yeah, the crazy mom. The MILF.
I don't think she's a MILF, at least not for me. Maybe for Shigure, but that's Shigure's also Shigure.
Shigure is weird. Don't like that.
Yeah, so that's more next episode though, I think. But yeah, and like how Ren sent Rin to like go get the box which we think is their father's ashes.
Yeah.
Like, it shows like how twisted she is. It seems like there's definitely a lot of conflict between her and Akito with the family as a whole.
Right. It does make me kind of wonder, just, I mean, it's obvious that she wanted those ashes for probably selfish reasons, but I wonder what that's going to do to Akito. Like,
if they get the ashes?
Well, I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, at some point, enough is going to be enough for Akito, and she's going, like, what's happening now is she's kind of seemingly cracking under the pressure. It's getting to be a little bit too much for Akito. And now that, none of this would have happened if Toru never came, because if Toru never came, like, it would probably all be the same. But since Toru came, it's kind of... it's changing Akito's life considerably. And now, because of that, combined with the actions of what Rin's doing with the ashes and all that, and her involvement in the story, it's going to be pretty interesting to see her involvement later on.
Yeah, and what she does, like Akito started to lose control. Well, I'm sure Ren will try to exploit that somehow, but what does she actually want, and how does it tie into the curse and everything like that?
See, I wonder if what will happen is maybe Akito kind of stands up for herself. And
Yeah, or like stands up for herself and like not as the ruler of the Somas, but like the person she ends up like wanting to be or tries to be or whatever.
yeah, she has her own little moment where she's like, yeah, screw it. I'm a bad person. I'm
Yeah,
not going to be bad. I'm going to be good.
yeah, it's interesting too. You got some flashbacks with like Akito and her father, how like Akito was born to be loved, how they're all waiting for her, but that's what she's been told, and like her life
Oh,
will
I love
never
that.
be filled with loneliness. But now it's like everyone's abandoning her.
Yes. Yeah, yeah. And it's one, we kind of continue it from, the episode 3, but in this episode, it like we said before, like it just makes it a lot easier, these episodes, and this one in particular, and the next one, to really sympathize with Akito a little bit more and understand where she's coming from, and just, you know, enjoy the character more than just from one perspective. And this episode, I think, like before the next episode, is probably the best at it.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the best episodes of the series, but like half the episodes I feel like we say that about.
Yeah, that's true. I think I've only been like a couple in season 2 that we were like, and then everything else is like, this is
Yeah,
great.
like I still feel like episode 3 this season wasn't that great, but then we're like episode 4 is amazing, 5 is amazing, 1 was amazing, 2 is amazing.
QRW6 says, what up, Scene Rising? This season has so much highlights. What has been y'all favorite moment so far? Because Shigure had been a highlight to me. Seeing all the kids grown up, that's for sure. This episode, we're talking about episode 4 currently, has one of my favorite moments, and that's just the stuff with Rin, or Isuzu.
Yeah, I think my favorite one, it could be recency bias because I watched it like 18 minutes ago, was Momiji just like leaving and like coming to grips with his future and all of the loneliness he might face, but how he's also sort of embracing it.
Yeah, so I guess we might as well go ahead and jump right into episode 5 in that case. Any final thoughts on episode 4?
Let me scroll down to the rest of my notes. Oh, a thought that so Akito basically accused Kurno of betraying him because he left Rin out. Except Kurno does not see that as betraying Akito, which I feel it's obvious that what Kurno did is right, and Kurno would have to know it's right. But that still like is betraying Akito's wishes, but Kurno doesn't seem to like see it as betraying him or betraying her.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering what is the reason for that? Like,
that's a very good question. Jeez.
So I'm wondering if it's because by Akito locking Rin up, that is somehow propelling the curse to break. And so Kurano knows something there and does not want the curse to break from the others. So by releasing Rin, he's helping to keep the curse intact.
Oh.
So that's like my crazy theory. So I don't know.
No.
Also,
I could see that being, something.
yeah.
But yeah, continue on, or anything else?
Yeah, and the other thought is like he was trying to like chase Haru away, telling Haru not to come back. And I'm also wondering if that's also part of it. By Haru being there, is that like bad for the curse's existence? Or is Kurano trying to break the curse for everyone else to like free Akito from that being like what's holding her back from forming true relationships?
That's a great point. It's almost like when you work like a really demanding job, and it puts strains on your relationship, and people are like, you got to quit that job. It's like, yeah, it's the same kind of thing. I didn't even think about that, but that's like, I would not say that's unlikely. I would definitely say that's more likely than not.
Yeah, there's definitely something there. We don't know exactly what, but I feel like it makes sense. And like we know that Kurano is unquestionably loyal to Akito, but that loyalty might be doing what is good for Akito, not necessarily what Akito wants.
Right. Definitely. Which a lot of that is really, fascinating, I think. Just the way all of the relationships and how a lot of the conflicts based on Akito's position and all that. Man, Rising, why are you so smart?
It's because I eat Oreos.
Hey, those were some mighty fine Oreos, if I say so myself. We've hit 11 concurrent, which is pretty great for this podcast. So, just as a friendly reminder, if you guys haven't already, please sure to leave a like on the podcast if you're enjoying it so far. Share it out with your friends on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, anything like that helps get the show out there.
All right, I'll post on my Tinder.
Oh, Lord.
I can't get ideas, and they're terrible ideas. So let's move on before I actually do something with those terrible ideas.
Yeah, let's talk about episode 5. And before we even get into anything, the first scene is of Ayame and Mine. Mine.
Yeah.
Let's call her Mine. Damn it. I think going back to season 2, it's been a while, but did we ever think that these two were in a relationship?
I could see it being implied that way, but it wasn't explicit until now. In the first scene in particular, it's so interesting because it wasn't just one scene; it was 3 scenes all meshed together.
Yeah.
Which they did that a lot this episode. In episode 4 too, but having scenes intertwined to have a really cool effect with them.
Yeah, well, you see, I think that makes it more compelling because since everything flows into one another, I think it creates
definitely.
Sorry, continue.
I feel like we don't give the direction how the show is presented enough credit because they are doing everything right to make the story as good as they possibly can.
Yeah, the directing and the producing. My lord, this is a well thought out. Somebody, whoever is making this, the people that are making the decisions behind this adaptation need to be commended for how great they are doing.
Yeah, it's not good just because the manga is good.
Right. No, yeah, this is one of those things where this is an adaptation of its own, even though it's following, a manga, it's 100% this is its own special thing.
Yeah, I don't know what to. Yeah,
This
it
really
basically is. It's seeing it on its own as an anime. It's especially after last season seeing a really bad adaptation. It makes me even more grateful for a good one.
The promised Goofy Land.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, but yeah, we have Ayumi asking Mine if she'll leave him if he's cursed forever, and she says, yes, that's where she wants to be. That's her happiness. That's another thing we got this episode is characters deciding their own happiness and what they want.
Yeah, people are. Yeah, they're making decisions for themselves, and honestly, I can relate to Mine, and I could even I think her decision makes sense because think about it. If you were with somebody that you truly loved, and when you hug them, they turn into an animal. To me, that's not that's crazy and all that, but if I actually love the person, I don't think that'd be I wouldn't want to leave the person because of that unless they're terrible.
Yeah, but they're a good person. I feel like that would make it hard though because a part of a relationship like that is a physical touch.
Right.
Not being able to have that and you're want to be really close. So I could definitely see it being a strain on it, but that's very interesting too. How does someone come to grips with their significant other turning into an animal if you try hugging them?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I guess, from my perspective, it would be like living with somebody who has some defect or something like that. To me, it's it's more magical and it's more, fantastical and all of this, but I don't know.
It is magical, but it's not just fantasy. It's very relatable too.
For some, this would totally be a deal breaker, but for me, I don't know. For me, I'd be whatever. You turn into a cat, awesome. Turn into a
Yeah,
goat? Cool. You turn into a turtle? Come over here, turtle. We feed you some lettuce.
Turn into a snake? Oh, adorable snake.
Yeah, but yeah. I mean, what? You not only do you get a significant other, you get a cool pet.
I like it. Okay, now I want to date a Soma.
Exactly. I mean, they're all supermodels, so
Exactly.
they're all just gorgeous people.
Yes, they all deserve hugs.
This is true. This is true.
But yeah, something interesting, like tying back into that, is like when they switch to the part with Yuki and Machi, how Yuki is wanting to tell her about the curse, and that then we get some reflection from Yuki saying that he wants to admit he's not a normal human. And I feel like that's just like a very interesting way to describe the curse and like bringing it back down to a realistic mindset, because he's not a normal human, and we can all feel that way ourselves too.
Yeah. Yeah. I would, I'll put on like a Machi wig and go out with Yuki. I'm fine with that.
I mean, it is Yuki, so who wouldn't?
But yeah, I mean, that whole scene with Machi and Yuki was really nice. It's really interesting with those two characters, because I don't think I ever get, well, this goes for every single interaction in Fruits Basket, but I don't get really tired of these two characters interacting.
Right.
And I think that's because of like just how good their interactions are and how well their dialogue is written.
And it feels like all the characters like really fully thought out too. It's not like, oh, this is the stereotype, this is the other stereotype. How would they interact? It's like, how would these two characters interact? What type of things are they thinking? What does that make them do?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. It's human. It makes it feel human, and like gosh darn, Yuki and Machi are just like adorable.
They are.
Like they are perfect.
Yep. Yuki reminds me of one of my friends.
Oh, who would? Is it a rat?
No comment.
You have a pet rat? That would be fun.
But I think that would fit them.
You know what? We should all get a pet rat and name it Yuki.
We should. You should name one of your cats Yuki.
You know what? I have like a gray cat somewhere. So.
All right, that cat is now Yuki.
Yeah. See, we can do that. I should have given you one of my cats when you were over here.
Yeah, I spent like a lot of fun time this past week with cats. They're adorable and fluffy, and I want them.
You could have had a lot of them.
Yeah, like my friend kept saying I couldn't steal her dog, cat, or her boyfriend. I don't know why. Or her Toru body pillow.
Well, I mean, the Toru body pillow makes sense, but
okay, yeah, that one I won't fight her on. That's just too precious.
Oh God. See, yeah, you should have took one of my cats. Would have been great.
All right, I'm driving to your house to grab a cat.
Might as well.
Yeah, why not?
But
we spent like 7 minutes talking about the introductory scene.
It's Fruits Basket.
It is. But yeah, moving on. We have the Shigure with Akito, and like Akito's holed up in a room. Shigure's making things worse, and like Kurano's there kind of chasing Shigure away, sort of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then Akito's like, forget about Shigure. He's not kind when she's suffering, so why should she care about him at all? And one of the things that Shigure keeps thinking about through this episode is like how time is moving on and how they will leave Akito behind. And it's really interesting to like Shigure's thought process, because there's like so many different ways to like look at what Shigure is doing.
Yeah, I mean, you could, like, it's there's a lot to break down, I think.
Yeah, like we see Shigure as a terrible person, but I don't think he's wrong.
I don't either. I think that, why am I being yelled at? I don't think he's wrong, because Akito she's playing a certain game that she wants everybody to be the same. And I think it kind of ties directly into the stuff with Momiji and Kyo in this episode, where Momiji to Kyo is like, you can't stay stagnant forever in this relationship. You have to make a move. And I feel like that's the same with Akito, but not it's not as one dimensional as making a step forward in his life with a girl. It's making plenty of steps forward with her and just her life and her mindsets and coming to, whatever she needs to do to realize that the way she's living is not good. It's not sustainable.
Akito is like trying to stay in the path that like all the characters are hers. They like unconditionally love her, and she's like doing everything she can to like try to maintain that. Except now she can't anymore. It's falling apart.
Yeah.
And so she needs to stop being in the past because she's going to be left behind by everyone.
Yeah, I think if Akito would just accept that they will move on in the future, and not only that, but be a better person, and respect them, and I think she would get that love from all the Zodiacs.
And I feel like she could get that love from the Zodiacs if she's loving them like not as a Zodiac, but like as people.
Right. Sympathizing with them and understanding them.
I feel like a lot of this analogy is to like family as a whole too. Whereas like you're born with your family, there's definitely an unconditional love at the start, but that doesn't mean they'll necessarily be there forever. You have to like work on building it as a relationship that you choose.
Yeah, you can't like there's an issue in the family, you got to address it. And
yeah,
same thing with Akito, like,
and like if the family's not good, people will leave the family behind. They'll find their own lives.
Yeah. And that's like exactly what's happening with Momiji. So
yeah,
like, and he was able to break the curse because of it. And I don't
know if we know why he broke the curse.
I think it's because of many of things. I think it's because he was ready to move on from his past and his family to find a new one.
Yeah,
that's my thing. And a part of that was coming to realize the love he has for Toru and trying, to help Kyo, but as well the stuff with Akito. And man, that scene where Akito's like, don't leave, don't go, and he's just like, go home, I'll talk to you tomorrow. And it's just like, you can't, like, I was like, you kind of deserve that one, Akito. You had that one coming.
I love how the season the power dynamic is completely reversed, at least this episode.
Yeah. Which I think is, part of what you were talking about, how like if the family's not all right, people will leave the family. And that's one person can hold on to power in the family, but if the family is not a family, then there's no power.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's nothing making the family members stay with their family, especially as they like grow up. They can go off and do their own things.
Yeah.
And if the family like leader of the family as a whole doesn't accept that or doesn't provide love for them. And QRW6 is asking, can we talk about Shigure's creepy interaction with Toru? And like, yeah, I have thoughts. I'm confused there. This show gives me many things to think about.
Dude, Shigure is creepy as fuck. Like,
yes, especially like he's so much portrayed like a comic character, but the show's like making us realize this isn't comedy, or it's not meant to be comedy.
Yeah, he's like he's like a sexual delinquent of some, like, it's so like if the next episode he like goes out in a trench coat and flashes people, would not surprise me.
I mean, he wears his bathrobe most of the time.
like it's weird how Shigure went from being like the hot guy, the hot older guy in Fruits Basket, to the objectively creepy and just get him away guy.
Yeah, I love how like Ayumi is the wholesome or the good one of the two of them.
Yeah, which is weird because like, yeah, Ayumi has like is pervy as fuck, but I think that is the thing. He's just pervy.
Yeah, Ayumi is like the he's pervy, but he's also like cares about the people around him, and like he does this for like to entertain them, and like he's not thinking of himself as he does that, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, but
Yeah,
But
I
what?
also like the part with Hattori asking Shigure or making the comment saying like, "I can't believe we're the same age," and like how Shigure's acting. He's like a kid who wants what he wants and doesn't care about anything else.
Yeah, yeah. I think maybe what Shigure puts on is a lot of airs. I
Yeah,
don't
and I feel
think
like
we've seen
Hattori
him.
is like the one character who can like see through those and like really understand what he's doing and see him.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting when we get the episodes explaining their relationship a little bit more, because I think that would be really fascinating. Like, why do they know like Shigure is having these like really creepy interactions with Toru where he's like he's gonna like, like he's one step away from like, calling her like sweet pea or some like weird.
Yeah. Well, I
uh
also like Shigure sleeping with Akito like 3 episodes ago.
yeah, yeah. It's like Shigure. I don't like him.
Yeah.
It seems him and Ren are the true evils of this series,
Yeah,
which is like, that's such a flip.
it is. And like especially like Shigure's like the first character we got introduced to from the Somas.
Right? Yeah, he's one of the
I think
first. Him
yeah,
and Yuki.
I think it was the first. Like he was the first one who saw Toru.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, you're totally right. Oh boy, stay away, Toru.
Yes, yes. Go hang out with Ayumi where you'll be safe.
And I like how Toru is just like, eh? It's like,
I think
like
that's
what?
how Toru is to a lot of things.
God, she's so pure.
Yes,
It's
and
like,
it's interesting. It's yeah, like how she like has no idea like how to deal with Shigure being like, she's like, oh, okay, I think.
oh God, it's
Yeah. I I also found it interesting how like Shigure does not see himself as being able to be a kind person. Like any kindness he does is like putting on airs to be kind because that like serves him.
oh God, yeah,
And
I agree.
we also got the line saying that Shigure cannot, or he's not looking to be Akito's father,
Yeah, yeah,
which is really weird considering he just slept with her.
yeah. You don't usually sleep with your daughters. That's something.
At least I certainly hope you don't.
Yeah, I hope you don't. If you do, though, I'm gonna call the police.
Yeah,
Wow.
definitely.
QRW6 says, and Ayame is flamboyant. Yeah, that's another way to put it.
Yeah, Ayame is. We should be more like Ayame.
Should we?
Okay, we should be more like Toru.
Yes. Toru is the best.
Yes, or we should be like Toru and hug Kisa.
Toru in the streets, Ayame in the sheets. There you go.
That's the comparison. And now I'm being like the Toru going,
Eh?
Exactly. I need that. Like, we need to make that an email for your server.
Yeah, Toru's reactions are amazing. I feel like ever since season 1, season 2, and season 3 have like Toru has just been so confused in so many scenes.
Wait,
she turns like into a moe blob.
Toru is Astro.
Yeah, that's yes. I know exactly why you're saying that, and yes.
Yes.
it's spot on.
It is, and I love the scene like when they're back at Chigure's house and everyone is there. And you have Toru hugging Kisa like right off the screen, but you can still see all the hearts.
Yeah. Oh my God. Oh yeah, we could see grown-up Hiro and Kisa, which is just adorable.
Yeah, and they like showed up at Toru's house, and Kiyo's like, "Why are you here?" And Kisa's like trying to say good afternoon, but she can't. And Hiro is like defending her and being Hiro.
Yeah, I love Heroes like, hey.
Yeah, don't mess with her. He goes like,
I'm not.
Yeah, okay. I like the relationship between like Kyo and Hiro.
Yeah, it's basically just keep your hands off my woman. And it's like, yes. What are you talking about, kid? She's a kid.
Yeah, like, why are you in my house?
Ugh. QRW6 says Shigure wants to be Akito's lover and not her father. He wants to do more than being caring like the others.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess that does make sense.
We hit 10 concurrent again. Hey. If you're
but we hit 12 likes, so
we're
one member of the Zodiac.
This is true. And
now we need Kyoto to like button.
If you are new to the channel right now, you're just popping in, please drop a like on the podcast, share it out with people, because as you can tell, 8 concurrent viewers on 37,000 sub channel. Maybe I should try to plug stuff more often to you guys to share.
It's because it's not Attack on Titan.
Yeah, well, obviously, yeah, but yeah.
But I mean, this show is better than Attack on Titan anyway.
I cry. Somebody's gonna get mad, or not.
And there go all your shows. I don't. Well, if people don't like, or if people like Fruits Basket, they're going to be here. You're not going to get Titan fans to check out minute 40 of a Fruits Basket episode when you're on season 3.
Maybe. We don't know.
I mean, Attack on Titan is good. Don't unsubscribe from C.
Yes, Attack on Titan is good. I promise. New video coming out tomorrow is going to be great. But Hiro and Kyo were really great in that scene, but as well, Kisa was. It seems like she's trying now, like her best to just be more social and break past those maybe anxieties and barriers that she has.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like she finally saying good afternoon to Kyo, even though she's scared. And I like how she picked up on Kyo being a kind person deep down.
Yeah, well, I think people like that are really quiet are more observative because they're more quiet.
Oh, yeah.
So I think Kisa's probably just naturally, due to her nature, is just more observative.
Yeah, and she picks up on the things that Kyo doesn't advertise, especially if Kisa's been around Kyo and Toru, which I'm sure she has because Kisa loves going over to their place.
Yeah. So super interesting.
Because how much Kisa cares about Toru, she would really notice someone else being kind to Toru.
Oh yeah, I feel like it's really interesting. I feel like where Hiro wouldn't like people being around Kisa, I feel like Kisa is more open to people just being close like that. Yeah.
And I feel like it just makes Kisa would be happy with everyone else around her being happy, even if she's not super vocal about it.
Yeah. Maybe, and I think that probably works, with Hiro and Kisa's relationship now that I think about it, because Hiro is protective, a little overprotective, actually.
Yeah.
And Kisa is just so, open to everything. It actually may work out.
I think it does.
Rari says, I've always wanted to watch Fruits Basket. Y'all might have just got me too. It's pretty good.
Yay. Yep, it's fun. It'll make you cry.
Yeah, it's Toru out of 10.
Yes. We also got them wanting to barbecue, but they're like, we don't have the Sugar Pie doesn't have the equipment. And Haru's like, all you need is a fire. This table will do.
Oh, God, I love it.
Saying no, this is a terrible idea. What are you thinking? But yeah.
I love the over-the-top moments in this show, because it's it's almost subtly over the top in many ways.
Yeah.
I never notice it immediately when it's happening, but it's with the perfect example is the Kyo and Kagura stuff. In the background, she's whipping, in season 1, she's whipping Kyo around like a rope, and you don't notice it immediately, but then you're like, hey, wait a moment, why did Kyo's body turn into rope quality? Where does his spine like she just murder Kyo in the background?
He's fine. He's a cat. They have 9 lives.
This is true.
Yeah, it is. This show does have great comedy when it wants to, though. It's just drawing from the characters and how Haru is kind of not completely with it. And it's this barbecue, fire, wood. There we go. Problem solved.
Haru is he's just he gets straight to the point immediately, and I think that's what's cool about him. And which is really interesting about that scene as well, because he uses that attitude of being straight to the point to deliver on this joke.
Yeah, and it's also like it's the same dynamic he has with Ren in like their relationship.
Yeah, yeah, straight to the point with Ren. Like,
Yeah, it's like, okay, is your journey over? Okay, let's go home.
I wonder if that's why Rin avoided Haru for so long, is because she knows him so well and is probably like, he's just gonna, he's just gonna come and swoop me up, and that's gonna be it. I can't
Yes.
I can't fight him on anything because he's so goddamn handsome.
You know who else is handsome?
Momiji.
Yes, Emoji or Momiji, Emoji-san, going up to Kyo's room afterwards. Perfect segue. Thank you for helping with that. And Momiji's like thinking out loud to Kyo, saying like, "I wonder if Toru will accept my proposal. If Kyo gives up, then Momiji like is saying, don't give up because if you do, then you're going to lose her."
Yeah, and I think he's doing this in vain because I think like he knows like he has no chance, and he says it later in the episode he has no chance, but like
Yeah,
he's
it's so
like he's being a good friend.
yeah, he's accepting that he can't have this relationship, but he still loves Toru and wants the best for her.
Yeah. Yeah, and like she's not gonna, be, off the market forever. So
Yeah,
like it's like to me, I said it last night on KOA, like if I were in Kyo's position, I would have like already swept her up because Toru is Toru. You don't run into people like that.
if you have a Toru and you have that relationship, yes, you take Toru, you run away with her.
Yeah. Do anything. You can.
Yes, you kidnap her and take her to Gatlinburg with you.
Maybe not kidnapping, but you
It's
can go
fine. It's
to
probably
Gatlinburg is
fine.
fun.
Yeah, let's go to Gatlinburg with Toru.
I think that would be really fun. Toru would be like, eh?
She had fun though. And Haru QRW6 is saying Haru this episode didn't tell them what Akito did to Rin. And yeah, that's interesting. I think one of the weird things about the show is how none of the characters know everything that the viewer knows.
Yeah. And I think that makes it so much. I think that makes the drama so much more suspenseful, or that may not be the right word, but it makes you really. It makes you more invested, I think, and excited to see what comes next.
Yeah, it doesn't like seeing how all the pieces come together when the characters do know.
Right. Yeah. And I think that's. I think that is. Like, I think that just makes the show better overall.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Like, and, talking about, how Haru in this episode didn't, what Akito did to Ren, I think that, I think that's interesting. I wonder if that's going to come back up.
I feel like it has to, like it's such a big moment. And I'm wondering like how it will come up though. Like, will Kurno be the one to reveal it?
Yeah. I mean,
or will Ren do something there with that to like try to take Akito down?
It's going to be really interesting, we'll say, because when that's I think that based off them saying that in the series, or well, not saying it, but them not revealing it quite yet. I think that when they do, because I think it's going to have to be a moment, and I think that's going to be like a big turning point. And just really kind of pile on probably to Akito, which is kind of a little bit unfortunate, but not so much. So
kind of bad for Akito. I mentioned this like when we were talking about the last episode. The story's being told as a tragedy with Akito as the main character. It's like because of his own failures, things are falling apart all around him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So the question is, will he be able to redeem himself or herself in time?
Yeah, definitely. As an aside, Yuv's subscribed to the channel. It says here on Streamlabs. Nice. I can actually see when people subscribe now. That's pretty cool. So thanks for the subscription. Much appreciated.
I should unsubscribe then.
I cry.
Okay, I need to bring my notes back up. What else? I had another thought, but I forgot what that thought was. Oh, a bit off topic, but Akito's dad, we got a few like more scenes or flashbacks with him.
Right. Oh yeah, that's totally right. That's really weird. They're interesting.
Yeah, I'm also noticing his color scheme is very white, and that's the same with Toru's father.
Uh-oh.
So
I didn't notice that.
So I'm wondering, are they possibly the same person? I feel like, well, Yeah, because her father like died when Toru was young, unless he actually didn't die. But he's like living a dual life, which would be really weird and maybe not make sense. But so it's probably not true. But if they are the same person, would it fit the type of things that he's telling Akito? Like saying that you are born to be loved. And is that the type of mindset that Toru is also like getting from her family?
Yeah. See, I don't know. I don't know what to think about that. I don't know how likely that is.
Maybe not very likely.
I feel like Francesca was, if she was watching this right now, she'd be pulling out her hair.
Yeah. Or maybe like Akito's father and Toru's father are like related, maybe brothers or something.
Oh, yeah. Huh.
Because I feel like there's like a couple like big mystery boxes there, and it seems like a thing that would be natural to try tying together.
Definitely, definitely. And I'm always interested when characters are secret relatives. I think that's what makes they kind of wasted it a little bit, but Sakura Mato and Ren Tosaka from Fate interesting is like a group of or a couple of two characters, cuz knowing that they're sisters is really interesting. So maybe that could be the case.
Yeah, I mean, we saw that some with Heavens feel like how they like reacted to that dynamic and what like how they were feeling knowing that and all those things.
Yeah.
But this is not a Fate podcast, even though it's your channel, so we have to bring up Fate at least twice per podcast.
Yeah, at least twice. It's in the contracts.
Yes, I probably signed that.
No, well, oops. I wasn't supposed to reveal that you signed a contract.
It's fine. It's fine.
I
So do you want to? So you know, like how contracts can sometimes be scary and disturbing and stuff.
yeah.
You know what else is scary and disturbing and stuff?
Hold up. I got this one. The Loch Ness Monster.
No, Shigure coming back and introducing himself as Papa.
Yeah, that's about on point. Yeah.
Yeah, it wouldn't seem that strange unless you had like all the other context and like, okay, Shigure is doing weird things again.
Boy, is he a weirdo.
Yes. And then like he's saying that maybe he should have dreamed of Toru instead, which is also disturbing. I think you wonder, is he dreaming of Toru as like a daughter to him, not as a lover, which is also disturbing, but in a different way?
Well, we don't need any Momoko stuff in here.
Who's Momoko? Oh, that Momoko.
Yeah, that Momoko. We don't need that kind of stuff going on.
Yeah.
Totally not a Google account says, is it bad that I don't watch this anime, but I'm here for the channel? No, not at all. If you don't want to watch it, that's fine.
Yeah, you can listen to us talk about weird things and be confused and be like Toru.
For sure, yeah. We just like talking about Fruits Basket. It's really good. It's really good. But I'm glad you enjoy the videos as well. Definitely, like, super appreciated.
Oh, and Panico TSO says that was me at first too, not gonna lie.
Oh, wow, thank you.
Yes, you're fun to listen to.
Wow. Well, you too.
Oh, watch it to be included. Well, hopefully you enjoy Fruits Basket and you keep coming back, so hopefully. Or just like hearing you say things.
Yeah, Fruits Basket is the pinnacle of fun. And by the way, I guess we should start, wrapping up soon. Unless you got anything else to say.
I have like another half page of notes with the thing with Momiji in the end.
Oh, okay. Well, I've totally forgot about that. But yeah, we should talk about that. Hold up. Show's not ending yet.
Yes. But yeah, there was a comment. I don't know who wrote it. I just wrote it down saying like the end comes so suddenly and like the link breaks. Like, and I feel it's also very interesting because that's how things are in life. Like you'll be together and then bam, something will happen and a link is broken.
Right.
Either like a family tie or like a job or friends or whatever. Something happens to break that link.
Yeah. Is there like running water outside my door? What the hell?
Your house is an interesting place.
That was weird. I'm sorry. Yeah. It happens very suddenly. And last episode, like, it's very weird that Haru is kind of the one to be the one to break that.
Yeah, like if Haru is the one who somehow broke Momiji's curse,
Well,
which doesn't make any sense.
well, no, like to break the like when Akito like was having that dream about, everyone leaving. Like it's really Haru, right? Is the one that kind of start that and finish it, right?
Yeah, like Haru is the one who like instigated it, like last episode with him like leaving and Akito basically having no control of him anymore.
Oh God, I'm a dumbass. Yeah, no, yeah, it's definitely Momiji. Yeah. I'm
Oh,
dumb.
okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, and that is really weird. Like, why is Momiji the one who has the curse break? Like, I feel like it does a lot of interesting stuff afterwards, but it doesn't feel like he's the one who it makes sense. Except for there's one thing I noticed last season.
What was that?
You remember the scene at the beach when Toru was hugging Momiji after Akito left?
Yeah.
And how it seemed to take a couple seconds for Momiji to transform. And we also saw that Momiji was able to stand up to Akito in a way that none of the other Somas could.
Right.
So I think all along they were foreshadowing, outside of Kurano, who is the one who seems to be the most resistant to Akito's control and the curse in general?
German boy, air purifier.
Exactly. So it only makes sense that he would be the first one to have this curse broken, other than Kurano, but Kurano was kind of like outside of the others.
Yeah, Kurano, like it was random, right? It just happened.
Yeah, and so the big question is why was Kurano first and why is Momiji second, and are those related?
I want to think it's random how it happens, because the reason I say that is because the way this episode was kind of focused on Momiji, and it had a lot of like moments where he kind of grew up and he was being himself this episode. So I don't know, like
yeah, but I feel like all the other characters are also like being themselves too in their own way. So like why hasn't Kagura's curse broken? She's like come to accept herself and without Kyo and moving on.
That's why I think it's different for everyone. I think
and like
I don't think for a second we're gonna get all the curses are gonna be broken by the end of this. But I do think like eventually everyone's curse will have to break at some point in the future.
Yeah, I feel like there'll be a couple other curses that'll like break as we go through season 3, but then like by the end everyone's curse will be broken.
Yeah. Except for Ritsu, poor Ritsu. He's nowhere to be found.
Yeah, I miss Ritsu. They need to at least do something with him.
Yeah, he's a cutie.
It was also interesting too, like when Momiji came back the next day, how like Akito was slapping him, and you notice like how weak she was to do anything here. Because like before, when Akito like slapped someone, it like had a lot of power to it. It was,
right? Yeah, that's a good point.
Establishing her control.
Yeah, like this was like weak. It probably still hurt. I mean, any kind of hit hurts, right? But
yeah, but had no power behind it, is what it felt like.
Right. Both, and I think like at probably Momiji at this point is like, you can hit me however much you want. It's not going to change anything. Like you brought this upon yourself.
Yeah.
And then at the end, he talks to his mama.
Yeah, he does. And I also liked how they intertwined the scene with his mom and the scene with Akito.
Yeah. I see. That's why I think it has to do with like it's different for everyone, because for Momiji, we see a couple big things happen to him in this episode. He talks to his mother, and his mother's like, "Hey, you're going to have a trip with your family or whatever? Like, we're going to have a trip with ours."
That's another motif throughout the episode, because remember back at the start of the episode, Hattori and the teacher, whose name I forgot, were like talking about a trip as well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, they could definitely be, on a trip in the summer again. But I like his answer. I like how at first you're like, oh, he's gonna get all sad, but he's like, he realizes that there will be a time for me to get my own family and my own group of people that respect and love me. So yeah, there will be one. It may not be now, may not be in this moment. I still have, hardships to go, as my cat meows at me.
Yeah, and it's like he is lonely now, and like he's not going to get Toru. He's broken off from the Somas with the Zodiac curse breaking. was like, there's still reason. He will find his happiness somewhere, even if he doesn't know how right now. Yeah, and Peniko TSO makes a comment saying he thinks it's similar to, or it has something to do with staying up with Akito, how similar to how we saw Haru's breaking a little bit. And I wonder if that's actually showing Haru's breaking, or if that was Momiji starting to break.
Yeah, it's very interesting now that you say that. I didn't think about that, but yeah. One could be Haru's and one could be Momiji's, and they're all separate.
Yeah.
And maybe
So was it
Haru's
Haru's breaking, or was it showing one breaking that ended up being Momiji's in the end?
Well, I think they're both separate. I think one was Momiji in that case, if we're going by that theory.
Wait.
Like they're two separate ones. They're not a representation of the whole. It's each one is a representation of each of them.
Yeah, I could see that. I have a theory though, because I think there is a chain for all of them. But let me look something up real quick.
While Rising is doing that, of course, we're at 13 concurrent, which I think is the highest for this show. As always, this is the last time I'm going to ask. Yeah. Drop a like, share it out if you haven't already.
So, okay, I need to find the picture.
Mm-hmm.
Wait.
What's happening?
Okay, this doesn't have the connection I was thinking it would. I was thinking if like Haru and Momiji are like opposites on the zodiac.
Ah.
Oh, here we go. So Momiji is the rabbit. They have a okay, Ox is an average match, so I guess there's nothing there.
QRW6 says if Haru's breaks, then Rin will as well. Rin.
Oh, yeah, like Rin's been doing a lot to oppose Akito, but they're like more in the background.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, I don't feel like Momiji's been doing much to oppose Akito other than just like standing up for Toru. So I feel like that's why I definitely think like what we saw in season 2 is showing how Momiji was already starting to break. We just like did not recognize that at the time.
Yeah. I don't know. Very good episode. I mean, gosh dang, spoiled this week with episodes 4 and 5. Like,
yeah,
like holy crap, it was great going back and rewatching, especially 4, and then 5 right afterwards. You know, in quick succession. Wow.
Yeah, because I rewatched both of them like an hour before this podcast, or like as soon as I finished episode 5, I like started calling you.
Yeah. Oh man, it's too good. It's too good.
Oh, here's something. The rabbit and the rooster are like halfway across the zodiac from each other.
Huh.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that could be something. If not, it's not, I guess. But I do want to drop a link to Satsuki's channel because he does his own Fruits Basket podcast. He may be doing his own. He doesn't have anything scheduled, so check out Satsuki's after the show then. But Mystic Madness says, my speculation is it breaks when they no longer have any emotional attachments towards Akito. That could be one, because that works out for Kureno.
Well, does it? Because like Kureno seems to like really care about Akito.
Well, he does, yes, but he's not. He doesn't feel obligated, so.
It could be like he's caring because he does care, not because he has to care.
Yeah. Or obligated is not the right word because he feels some obligation.
Or are we mixing up cause and effect? Is the reason he doesn't feel obligated is because the curse was already breaking?
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know. It's a good point.
We have no idea. We'll find out hopefully in the next few months.
Yeah, hopefully. So yeah. Go check out that link I just put in the chat. It's the Satsuki's channel. He has his own Fruits Basket podcast. Typically, it airs right after ours is finished. So,
oh, nice. So go check that out.
Yeah, go check his out. You get double Fruits Basket podcast. It's very fun. Tell him
he's smarter than us.
Yeah. Also tell him like Rising says Kisa is the best.
Yes, Kisa is the best.
Rising, where can they find you?
They can find me on YouTube and Twitch and OnlyFans and Twitter and my house.
Yes, all of those are correct. Surprisingly, especially the last one. Who knew?
My house.
Yeah. Yeah. thanks everybody for coming out to the Fruits Basket podcast. The show is always fun to do week to week, and this episode was, this was so much fun.
We went for an hour, and I feel like we could be on longer.
Yeah, I do as well. So thanks everybody for watching. As always, make sure to share it out, all that stuff. And tomorrow, another Attack on Titan video. So that's going to be fun if you're a fan of Attack on Titan.
I mean, I'm not reading the manga, but still looking forward to it.
And then later in the week, something else is coming out. I forget. Crap. I don't know what it is actually. I can't remember. I'd tell you if I knew. All I know is there will be future videos on Demon Slayer Mugen Train, where I did a podcast on it for King of Anime. So you can go check that out now. I did a video on Nagatoro. I am doing one, I should say. It's not even done yet. That should be fun. I got some words about that one. And some other stuff in the future. So thanks everybody for watching. I'll see you guys later.